I better make sure I'm still connected to the right profile.
Oh, yeah, that would help.
Yeah, it would help. Well, YouTube reads that the stream is green. So
Yeah, I got on my watch right there.
Nice. Yep.
Got the notification.
Mine just went off too. So
All right.
welcome.
It is RecycleBin number 18, everybody.
God, it does not seem like it's been 18 weeks of us doing this.
I know. It's been a very, very long road to get here. It doesn't feel like that long. It seems like we just started doing this. It's kind of crazy.
Oh, yeah. So shall we just jump right into it?
Yeah, Burning Jim's put in chat you're 5x5. I'm not sure what that means.
5x5. He means he reads me clear, I believe.
Ah, okay.
I believe that is a
like amateur radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's ham or aviation, in which I actually said to him last time, you're 5x5. So
gotcha.
I'm gonna
there
pop
you
out
go.
the chat.
Learn something new every day.
So we're 5x5, which means that we are good. Communications is good and whatnot. Yep, I got it. Awesome. So,
right.
AKA stream's good, we're good, everything's good. Hey, Jim, yep. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. I'm hoping Dr. Z is also out there somewhere.
I think so. I see him in Discord. So, oh, yep, yeah, he's in Discord, so I'm assuming he's here.
Okay. I did not tweet today, and I did not post it in Discord today that I was live. However, I do want to share with you, remember our last stream, your part of your PC part picker challenge was you got a free computer case with the, what was it, CPU or motherboard?
Yes. Yeah, it was with the motherboard, yeah.
So, one of my friends was watching it, and he shared that tidbit of information with his brother, and his brother now has and got that deal.
That's funny.
So, isn't that cool, though, when you say something like that, and then it actually gets put to use in real life? So, for me, I really like it on my channel when I talk about a certain case, and they're like, hey, I'm going to buy this case now. I'm like, all right, don't forget to do other research, you know, watch other people.
Right.
Don't take just my word for it.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad he got that deal, because that was a really good deal.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it was like normally like a $40 or $50 case that was free in that, so that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, I actually looked into it. It's like 50, I think, 40 or 50.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. I'm glad he got a good deal out of that.
Me too.
That someone benefited. You know, it always seems, you know, kind of doing that outside looking in perspective. It, you know, almost looks a little silly to do these, you know, phantom builds without, you know, any physical hardware. But you know, you find good deals when we do these things, especially when we're doing the budget oriented builds, and and people can benefit from that, because you know, you may not be looking out for a free case bundled with a motherboard deal, but when you hear about one, if it's something you're looking for.
Absolutely.
Cool. All right, so what do you say we go ahead and roll into... Oh, actually, I guess we could...
Roll into your...
Yeah,
giveaway?
I guess I could announce this, yeah.
Okay.
So I do have my 150 sub giveaway live. I will put the Gleam link in the chat, and that way you guys can check it out if you haven't already. Jims, I know I saw you in there. I think you commented it on the video as well. But I'm giving away, to celebrate 150 subs, I'm giving away my Raspberry Pi Zero with the USB hat, Wi-Fi dongle, the full-size HDMI adapter, and an 8GB SD card with RetroPie preloaded. It's not a huge SD card, but it's big enough. I mean, you're not going to really be able to play much more than probably Super Nintendo with a Pi Zero. But the you know, SNES games, stuff like that, they're all pretty small, so they should all fit on that SD card. Quite a few of them, pretty well, without any issue. But yeah, so I'm giving that away. I was a little late with my giveaway. I didn't start it until I was at 164 subs. It finally went live. And we're at 184 now. And I did mention at the end of my video, I don't know if I have the box around here for it. I don't. It's in my closet. I'll probably do a giveaway of a 1050 Ti if we can hit 500 on the channel before the end of this year. So before December 31st of this year, if we hit 500, I for sure will give away a 1050 Ti. It's a Zotac, the Mini 1050 Ti.
Oh, the amp?
No, it's the Zotac Mini 1050 Ti.
Okay.
Hold on, let me find. Go ahead and just roll into the PC Part Picker challenge intro, and I'll pull up the link
what
to it.
PC Part Picker challenge info? I told you this.
What's up?
I don't have a build ready to show.
Oh, I thought you.
Hun,
thought you
did
had
you make one for me?
Had that taken care of.
Huh? Didn't finish it. Yeah, she didn't finish it.
Okay, that's fine. I mean, we can just. Man,
she doesn't make all my builds. Just it was one of those, like, she loves Marvel, and so basically just 10 minutes ago, I'm like, I don't have a build ready, and this is one of those I want to spend, like a decent amount of time on, like a decent amount of time on.
So yeah, we can just push this one to next week then, because I definitely I think this has a lot of potential, because I have a little bit of I put a little bit of thought into mine. I have some methodology behind the reasoning with some of the things that I picked to fit in with the character. Things that I feel like fit the character and fit, I guess, some of the lore, I guess you would consider it, of the character.
Okay.
I know it sounds kind of odd to say computer parts fit a lore, but it'll make sense once, for sure it makes sense once I can show off my build. Yeah, we can hold that one for a little bit, and then I guess we'll just skip it this week, and then follow up with PC Part Picker next week again on my when I host on my channel next week. We'll revisit this. So yeah, we're gonna have a really short show tonight then.
We're gonna have a very short show.
Yeah, so I posted the link in Discord if you want to grab that, just so people know what 1050 I'm talking about here.
Yeah, let me copy this link so it opens up in the proper browser. Bam. The Zotac GeForce GTX 1050 Firestorm?
Did I put the wrong one in there? It's the 1050 Ti Mini.
Mm-hmm.
Firestorm. Where do you see Firestorm?
Firestorm is right next to 4 gigs on the box.
Yeah. That's I think that's Zotac's version of like MSI Afterburner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I haven't tried that yet.
I've never looked into Zotac stuff before, real deep.
Yeah. So I'm gonna do a video sometime in the near future. I think I'm gonna pair it with my i3 6100 and do some performance tests on it as like a kind of a budget build type thing. Doing like 1080p gaming on it. So it's a single PCIe slot, but it
takes up the length of 2. Right? Uh-oh.
There's only one slot that it actually fills in the back.
Yeah.
But it's a 2-slot card.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's super efficient. Thing runs cool. It's only powered by PCI Express slots, so it's great for like upgrading like cheap pre-built PCs. As long as they're full towers, it'll fit just fine.
So you're telling me I don't have to have a special video card power cable off of my PSU?
Right, you don't need any PCI Express 6 or 8 pin or anything like that. The one thing I will note is for anybody who does so. Blue Jay, I know, has been in the Discord trying to figure out, doing these cheap things. I've mentioned it a couple of times to him before. So for anybody out there who's looking at taking like a pre-built Dell, like a Dell Optiplex or something like that, and slapping in a card like this in it on your own, watch out, because these cards do require the 75 watts from the PCIe slot, and a lot of these Dell Optiplexes, what they'll do is if you actually and they'll usually will print it on the PCB. If you look next to that PCI Express slot, sometimes you'll see like max output 35 or 45 watt. I forget what it is. I think 45 watt. So like I know the Optiplex 790 and 7010 small form factor will put out a max of 45 watt to that PCI Express slot. So they actually wouldn't be able to power 1050 Ti, so it either won't work and won't boot with it, or if it does, it'll run really underpowered. So something like a GT 1030 would probably be fine, or a GT 730 would be fine in that machine, but something like a 1050 or 1050 Ti wouldn't run properly.
Okay.
So just a random fun fact, I guess, for for anybody looking into doing some of that stuff. Because I see a lot of YouTubers that'll mention like, hey, this card, they'll review a card like this, say, hey, it's great for even like the half-height versions, right? Because there's half-height versions of the 1050 and 1050 Ti, as there were of the 750 Ti and the 750. And I've seen people recommend putting that in one of those pre-built small form factor builds as a quick and easy upgrade path for just light 1080p gaming. But nobody mentions or maybe doesn't know about that limitation of some of these pre-builds. So again, just a good piece of information to have if you're looking into doing something like that.
Okay. All right. So, shall we head into our first topic then?
Yeah, let's talk about how we're all gonna die.
I thought we would want to at least touch on who won last week's PC Heartbreaker Challenge.
Yeah, I guess we could do that. I figured we'd do the whole section next week, but go ahead.
Okay.
I've had it.
well, I figured if we're trying to fill a little bit of a time gap, like at least announcing last week's winner.
Sure. Yeah.
So, results then. 1 vote. Johnny O.
Oh, good. I think Dr. Zibuchi just pops in and like alternates voting for us each week.
That's very kind of you, Dr. Z, but if you could just continue voting for me, that would be fantastic. Yeah, I need to advertise, though, the voting of this more.
Yeah.
So I know that that's something I'm not really doing. So.
Yeah, I've thought about doing like Twitter blasts and stuff like that throughout the week to remind people, but then I'm like, but then you gotta like, I feel like the 140 characters isn't enough to explain that this poll is for the first section of this live stream, so you need to go watch the first half of this video to know what's going on,
right?
Kind of thing. So I don't know. I don't know how much sense that makes, or if it just makes more sense to kind of let the audience for the stream, push the stream more, and as the audience for the stream grows, then the voting will kind of naturally grow with it.
Okay. Burning Gem says that was his vote. He voted for you.
Oh, woohoo! Thanks, Gems.
Also, just as well, I did switch my audio microphone from the webcam's mic to this mic around my in front of my face. Let me know whether or not this is better or this is not better, or if I just need to like go back. I'm hoping that this will work, because I've been listening to myself off of past streams and going, oh my gosh, I sound terrible, like I'm in a bathroom or a urinal.
Right.
So
I just noticed that my pop-out chat wasn't updating, so it looks like Jim's also asked about budget build gaming.
Oh yeah, there it is.
He's talking about doing like a 1700X and a 1080 Ti, but asking if a Ryzen 3 and a 1050 would work. So a Ryzen 3 and a 1050 would be good for like 1080p gaming, more so with like esports type titles like Dota, League of Legends. You could definitely do some of the AAA titles. You probably have to run like medium, maybe even low detail on them, I would think, with a 1050 at 1080p. But if you're only building one every 7 years or so, I would definitely call that an underbuild. If if you only do one build every 7 years, you probably want to go more towards a 1700X and a 1080 Ti to make sure that'll last you, well into that 7-year period. Because by the time you get probably 4 to 5 years in, it's going to start showing its age.
Yep. And for me, I bought my system at the very end of 2015. It was Black Friday of 2015. I got most of my components. At least I believe that was it, right? And I have, you know, a 980 Ti, but the 980 Ti is a 6 gig of GDDR5, and now if you look at the 1080 Ti, it's 11 gigs of
Right.
GDDR5X. So just one generation can almost double the performance of whatever you might get top notch.
Right.
So if you go 1050, but you know the average, we'll say gamer's computer out there can handle higher quality stuff, then I think games will probably be pushed towards that, you know, PC exclusive titles, that is. If it's
Right.
cross-platform, then they just kind of go for whatever the... it was for a while the Xbox because it was the weakest link, and now with the new Xbox Scorpion, I think they're now pushing or aiming for the PlayStation 4.
Got you. Yeah, no, I mean, you know, the jump from the 980 Ti to the 1080 Ti was, you know,
Wicked.
probably about a 50% performance increase,
It was
which
wicked.
is, yeah, which is in a one generation span is an enormous performance increase.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was pretty insane. And I mean, to be fair, that was unprecedented before the 10 series came around. I mean, you know, to see, generally what would happen is you would see kind of the norm of what was happening where, say the 980 would have performed, or I'm sorry, like a 970 would perform about as well as like a 780 did from the generation before, and you would kind of have that step down tiering going from generation to generation, to where, you know, the top tier GPU each generation added a few percent, not 50% performance over the last generation's top tier. So yeah, it's pretty insane that we got that big of a jump with the Pascal architecture. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. Meta-analysis finds sperm counts are dropping 50%. Media predicts human extinction. Johnny?
Oh, hey, Bear, you have no audio on the stream. You speak and nobody hears you.
Alright, there we go. So, rats. Johnny was thinking that this would be appropriate to have on my channel. Johnny, would you like to take it away?
Yeah, sorry, I was just listening back to make sure that you came back good.
Yeah, I can see myself. I figured it out. I had muted that source, and
Got you.
I'm going to add the other input source.
Yeah, so this is an article on Ars Technica by Beth Mole. Meta-analysis finds sperm counts dropped 50%. Media predicts human extinction.
Human
by the way,
extinction.
Yeah, Jim says that you have
I have.
voice echo.
No,
but
he's got the good
basically,
voice echo.
what happened was there was a meta-analysis of, and what a meta-analysis does is it's not a set of, you know, doing a set of research in any kind of controlled and standardized way. It's taking a set of other people's research from multiple case studies and looking at that and trying to look for a correlation or a trend between that data.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you're working with different methodologies, different standards, different data sets, different collection methods. So, you know, things that can't really be compared together. Kind of the, you know, comparing apples and oranges kind of thing, I guess, is one way you could look at it. So essentially saying that
Thanks,
this
Jim.
isn't necessarily a reliable...
Thanks, Jim.
I see that.
Like, my audio is one of the main things that just drives me crazy.
Yeah. But essentially, it's not a reliable way to making sort of prediction like this. What researchers have kind of agreed on in the science community is that this merits further investigation, as in doing its own dedicated study, which would involve getting a large subset of men and doing a controlled study over a course of several years to determine if this is true. But essentially what happened was the media picked this up, like the media likes to do, and they ran with it, saying that essentially humans are on the brink of extinction, and this was the end of human reproduction, so we were going to die. And humanity as we knew it was over.
Would that really be a bad thing?
Right. So there's some numbers I do want to kind of burn down real quick there, where some of the people in the field are kind of like, okay, hold on, slow down, don't get your feathers up in a ruffle so much. So the 50% reduction is still well within the range of what is considered
acceptable.
I guess, yeah, acceptable, to be within the normal, right? To not be considered underproducing in sperm count, and so basically anything from 15 million up to 200 million per milliliter is considered to be normal, and men are only considered to have low sperm count if they fall between 15 million per milliliter, or if they have less than 35 million per ejaculate. So the average total count during the study only fell to 137.5 million, so almost 100 million more than the minimum requirement here.
Okay.
The 52% decline, the what I think Alan Pacey at the University of Sheffield noted that the 52.4% decline in count may sound like a lot, but it represents an average change from normal 99 million to normal 47 million per milliliter. So while it is a big change in number, both numbers were well within the range of the accepted normal. So I just thought this was an interesting article. That it does kind of, it seems like it points towards this trend, this downtrend in count. But again, it doesn't necessarily tell us anything without its own dedicated study. And the other interesting part, probably the more interesting part that I found about this.
So keep going, and then I'll say what.
Yeah,
Jim said.
I saw Jim's. Yeah. I completely lost my train of thought when I saw that.
Okay, so since he lost train of thought, what Burning Jim's just got done posting in chat was LOL. If they cut off internet porn, the sperm count would bounce back. Whoops, your wives are there behind the camera. Don't tell them.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. But
She's
yeah,
not even looking at me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, so anyways, basically the sum up the article here at the end by saying it'd be probably another 25 years before we'd really have a real answer because of the kind of study it would take to determine this kind of information.
Right.
All right. It's probably enough to talk about sperm for one night.
Probably. I like how they are now putting ads at the very top of their webpage.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
even above the banner. How does...
Oh, so by the way...
Yes.
I have fixed that problem for when I stream.
Do you have ad block?
I have a very free, very Pi-powered version.
Oh.
Remember I sent you that link for... Here.
Send it.
I'll send it to you. I'll put it in chat.
Okay.
So, but yeah, I set up a Pi-hole. I'll probably do a video on it. It'll be a super easy one. It's like super simple to set up. Takes almost no time, and you just basically let your Pi sit on the network, point your router to your Pi as the DNS server.
Okay.
And boom, those random ads like on TweakTown becomes like a blank white page. It's insane. No more page takeover ads when you go to try and read a news article. It's amazing.
Okay, so I will... Well, why'd you put it in that chat? That chat goes away once the stream drops.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh,
I meant
it's
to
okay,
put
I
it
got
posted
it.
in both.
I got it. Oh, there
I
it is.
beat you.
Alright. Alright, let's continue.
Yeah, so Ars Technica again. Can you tell that I did this last minute and it scrambled today?
What? No.
YouTube Red and Google Play Music may merge into one service. Ars Technica again. This is Valentina Palladino. Or Palladino? I don't know. I don't know if that double L is just an L or a Y. So essentially, as we all know, Google is bad about taking and having an array of apps that do the same or very similar functions.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially what's happened is they made kind of this announcement, trying to skim, I don't remember where it was at. It was at some kind of conference or something. Anyways, essentially YouTube Red and Google Play Music, and the author speculates YouTube Music will also be rolled up in this. Are going to be rolled into a single app with a single cost per month, rather than having 3 separate apps with 3 separate costs per month. I think YouTube Music is free, but YouTube Red and Google Play Music are both $9.99 per month. So they're just going to basically combine them all into one app, probably change the name and rebrand it, and then it'll be $9.99 per month to get all the functionality of all 3 apps.
Okay.
So that one's kind of a quick and dirty one, quick and easy one, I guess. But yeah, they kind of mentioned it's essentially just going to be a rebranding on Google's part to make it more consumer friendly, is what it boils down to.
Got it. Okay. Huh. Interesting.
So yeah, I don't use I don't really use any pay services other than like Netflix, and then like I have Prime. That's really it. And
Okay.
I really don't use like Prime Music or anything like that, so I don't know.
Gotcha.
I don't know anybody personally who does like the YouTube Red or anything like that, but
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't have YouTube Red. I don't. So.
yeah, like I don't mind the video ads. It's like the going to sites with these like full page takeover ads is kind of where
Oh yeah,
I run
absolutely.
into issues with.
So these are starting to ping at me that they're dying. I gotta go grab the charging cable.
Oh, yep.
So I will put Apple must pay the 506 million up and walk away real quick.
Yeah, no problem.
Sorry.
So, no, you're fine. So this is another Ars Technica article. This one is by Joe Mullen, and essentially, Apple must pay $506 million for infringing on a university's patent. This is University of Wisconsin, and essentially, they may collect $4.35 a piece from millions of iPads and iPhones. So what this boils down to is that University of Wisconsin had a patent for a table-based data speculation circuit, which is what a University of Wisconsin is claiming that I believe it was the 88, the A8X, and the A7 chips that were used in Apple iPads and iPhones all infringe on that patent. So essentially, U.S. District Judge William Conley basically signed the order and awarded the university the settlement for basically $4 and some odd change for every unit of iPhone and iPad that was sold with those chips during the time frame from when the patent was held. So the patent actually died on December 26, 2016. So that's when the cutoff date is for them to be able to collect that essentially license payment through the courts. So of course Apple is already filing papers to appeal the jury's verdict. So there is another lawsuit, a second lawsuit from the University of Wisconsin against Apple, accusing a newer generation of products, which is of course on hold until the first appeal goes through. Hey Bear.
Yeah.
There's like really bad feedback coming through right now, like a lot of popping and clicking. I don't know if it's on the stream, but I'm getting it over Skype. Still really bad. Yeah, every time you plug in. Yeah. Maybe try on the other end. The other end of that cable. It seems like there's interference or something. It's just like really bad feedback. Yeah, yeah. Well, that's all cleared up now. It's better than the feedback. So yeah, there's no feedback. It's just yeah. I can hear you clearly now. I can hear you clearly now.
Okay, you can hear me clearly, but it still looks like it's bouncing around like crazy now that I let it go back through the stream. You try to do something to make it, you know, better, and you make it worse. I sometimes just don't know how this happens.
Yeah, it seems like it's still coming through on the stream, but it doesn't seem anywhere near as loud on the stream as what I had.
Okay.
And I can hear you on the stream. Dr. Sifuchi said he couldn't hear you.
Well, yeah, because I had muted myself then. And you have to remember, they're very delayed from what we actually hear.
Yeah, well, I mean, I had it playing back in the stream as well,
oh, okay.
and I was just able to hear you, so I think he should be able to hear you now as well, hopefully.
Hey, honey, can I have that red headset underneath your... I'm gonna try something different. You keep going.
Yeah, sorry. That was basically all I had on that article. Dr. Sabuki's typing something. The last comment on the article was that both Apple and the Wisconsin Alumni Research Foundation both declined to comment on this case. So, so that's it for the news topics. Next, we're going to be rolling into the hardware topics, which I don't know if Barrett can hear me. Hopefully he has... Yeah. Yeah, the popping came back for a second. Oh, I hear myself again. I don't hear anything from Bear anymore. I don't know if he can hear me. Hmm. Oh, I hear you now. I hear you now. I'm waiting for the stream to catch up.
They can hear me now, and I'm way too loud.
Oh, there you are.
Woo!
Yeah.
Bear's back. Yeah! Alright. Now that that's all taken care of, I should have known that plugging in a USB audio device was going to mess up everything. Because as soon as you plug it in, Windows 10's like, oh, this is now the default device. And it's like,
Right.
no, don't do that. My stream is set up so that it only captures whatever is being sent out to the TV.
Gotcha.
And then the TV has an output to wirelessly go to my headphones. So sorry.
Right.
So sorry.
Alright, so before all the shenanigans, or during the shenanigans, I suppose, our next topic was going to be Ryzen 3, which is now available. The only place I've seen it available so far is Newegg, which is why that's the link in... Oh, now I don't hear Bear anymore.
No, you hear me.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
I'm just not saying anything, but in the background, my cat sat up like a human real quick.
Ah, that's good.
Squirrel.
Yeah. So Ryzen 3 desktop processors are now available on Newegg. They posted a tweet saying they are pre-orders, but they don't say when they expect them to ship. And yeah, so I don't know exactly when you'll get it if you order it. I didn't see it on Amazon or Micro Center yet as being available. But yeah, so you can go and get your Ryzen 3 chips ordered if you're looking to do kind of a budget build. I would recommend the 1200 based off the information we've seen from the bigger YouTubers and the overclocking capabilities of the 1200. Seems like you can pretty easily get it to clock up to the same speeds as the 1300X. So you save $20 and essentially get the same processor.
Right.
Yeah, so that's a thing now. So one thing to note is that Newegg's page, which happens from time to time, the specifications are wrong. And it listed as a 4-core, 8-thread. Oh, they've actually fixed it since then. Never mind. This morning they were listing it as a quad-core with 8 threads, which it is not. Because SMT is not enabled in the Ryzen 3 chips, so it's just 4 processing cores, no simultaneous multi-threading enabled.
Yep.
It does run 8 megabytes of cache versus the 16 of some of the higher end chips.
Well, that's L3 cache, yeah.
Right, of L3 cache. Total of I think it's a total of like 10 megs or 12 megs of cache, something like that.
10.
Yeah. So it's architecturally very similar to all the rest of the Ryzen chips are expected to scale very linearly with the other chips in the lineup so far. And remember that we also have Threadripper coming in at the complete opposite end of the spectrum, coming out August 10th.
Right.
So that's going to be a $1,000 and a $800 part for the 16 and for the 12 core chips.
Jeez.
Both with SMT enabled. So yeah, you're talking 24 and 32 threads on those. Yeah, it's pretty bananas.
Pretty bananas. That's a nice way of putting it. By the way, how do we sound now? I'm just curious.
In the stream, once you start using that headset, I think it was much better.
Okay. Okie doke.
Yeah, I think your sound is much better now. All right. So yeah, not a whole lot to say about that, I guess, other than the fact that I guess Ryzen 3's closest competitor is going to be the Core i3 processor, and so I know we talked about this a little bit before the stream. We've watched some of the other YouTube videos that have been produced on it by some of the bigger guys,
Right.
Paul, Kyle, Linus, and I don't know if you call it Gamers Nexus. I call it Gamers Nexus as well. So there's two main comparisons that have been made here. Gamers Nexus did it in comparison to the 7350K, the overclockable i3, and when overclocked to 5 gigahertz, the i3 was able to beat the Ryzen 3 in many cases due to that higher clock rate. But looking at it price to price comparison to the 7100 and I believe 7300 i3s, it pretty handily beats them in any multi-threaded process application. And really, Linus and Steve over at Gamers Nexus, I believe, were only ones that actually had real benchmarks from the 4 that I watched.
Yeah.
Paul and Kyle basically just kind of did PC builds, and they're going to come out with their benchmarking numbers on those builds in a second video, from what I understand.
Yep. That was my understanding as well.
Yeah, but from what we've seen so far, it looks like I think most of the YouTubers have kind of, again, backed Ryzen 3 as the kind of budget-oriented winner. Again, in this case, just like when you're looking at like the i5 and the Ryzen 5 in that same price point, everybody has recommended the Ryzen 5 ever since it came out.
Yeah,
So,
I would definitely recommend this over the direct competitors of these CPUs.
yeah.
So
Especially if you're looking at dollar for dollar. If you're looking at dollar for dollar, there is no overclocking on a 71 or a 7300 Core i3. So the $110 it costs you to get a 7100, you can get a 1200 Ryzen 3 1200, and you can overclock it. I think I saw 2 or 3 of the YouTubers reporting 3.8 gigahertz pretty easily on the 1200.
wow.
So at that point, you're running slightly faster than the 1300X.
Absolutely.
Which, again, not unexpected. Pretty much every chip in the Ryzen lineup clocks easily to 3.8. Usually getting to 4, maybe 4.1 if you're really lucky. Get a really good chip. But yeah. Again, not a whole lot else to say about there. It's kind of not really a surprise at this point that new Ryzen chip drops and a price-to-price comparison, it smashes Intel in the face. So,
yeah.
And the last story that I have is just a gaming story to round out the evening. A motion cap actor's talent agent suggests GTA. It says talent agent, but I think the other top title said, "Oh, this has been updated now." Holy moly! Dang on. Okay. It's been updated since I.
Yeah.
Put this in there. So now it says the talent agent, not the resume, suggests GTA 6 listing has been made up online.
No, duh.
Anyways,
So before
essentially
this,
the original story. I'm sorry, go
right,
ahead.
go for it.
So the original story was that a motion cap actor essentially, well, one of the guys that they put the suits on with the balls so that they can be tracked on camera to do motion capture, so that it aids in animating, doing character animations for like running, jumping, falling, punching, getting punched, all these kind of things.
And those special scenes.
Right, and for like cutscenes and things like that.
Facial.
Had a resume put online, which mentioned in its credit, or in his experience, was motion capture stunts for Grand Theft Auto 6. So there's speculation about whether this was a typo or whether it was that this guy had actually worked on Grand Theft Auto 6 at this point, because, as many of you know, game development takes several years. I mean, Team Fortress 2 was 10 years in the making, but that's a Valve game, so that's a different story. Valve time. So, most games take, a good 3 to 5 years of development before they're, ready to go out to the public.
Right.
So it's very plausible that with, I believe, Grand Theft Auto 5 is 4 years old since it released on console, and so it's kind of getting into the time frame where, they definitely should be working on something for it by now. We'll get into Doxy Bucci's comment in just a second, and yes. So, in the original story, they saw this, and there was some speculation about whether Grand Theft Auto 6 was actually in the works or not. So now this update, I'm going to just read straight through this update because this is the first I've seen of it. Despite prior speculation, including my own featured below, it seems motion capture actor Tim Neff is not in fact working with Rockstar on Grand Theft Auto 6 and or Red Dead Redemption 2. That's according to his California-based agent, with whom I spoke over the phone earlier. When asked about Neff's potential involvement in Grand Theft Auto 6 or Red Dead Redemption 2, talent agent Brittany Love said, "We asked him and he's not a part of that. He thinks it must be something made up online because he's definitely not a part of that."
Yep.
This almost seems a little bit like a backpedal. Like, oh crap, I'm going to be in trouble for putting that out there because I'm not supposed to let anybody know that I'm working on this yet. But
possible.
I don't know. It could go either way. It could go either way.
Right.
It just seems very odd for someone to. So there's three routes that this can take, right? The one I just said, where it's legit and he backpedaled. The one where he put this out here and he just straight up lied on his resume, which people lie on their resume all the time, right? Or number three, someone else went out there, put something out there in his name with this stuff on there to generate this, this or not outcry, but generate this story, right? So out of those three, they're kind of leaning towards it being this third item, maybe the second item. The third item there is definitely, that's not plausible at all. What person is going to randomly go out there and, did you know who Tim Neff was before this? Nobody knows who this guy is. Very unlikely that someone did that.
Right.
So either he just lied on a resume that he put out there and he's, backpedaling because of that, or he's backpedaling because he has worked on these things and he's not supposed to say anything. He signed some sort of NDA or something like that, where he's not allowed to do that and gotten himself in trouble.
Right.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so the chance that someone else submitted something in his name is very unlikely.
Right.
However, if any of you guys watched like Philip DeFranco, I guess recently they some guy went and didn't rob. He stole. He stole from a store, theft, and it was like $40 of stuff or whatever. But the police got him, and he didn't have any ID on him. But he said he had his full name, and he knew his social security number and whatnot. And they looked him up, and it was an NFL football guy or whatever, right? But it wasn't actually the football guy.
Right.
So somehow this guy had the all the right information to seem like he was someone else.
Right.
But no matter how you slice the dice here, no matter how you look at it, either way, we know that there's going to be another Grand Theft Auto in some point of time, because why would they ever stop making Grand Theft Auto? They're doing really well. They're always hot games, and I just don't see them stopping anytime soon. They're gonna ride that wagon all the way to the end.
Exactly. Whether or not this guy is actually working with them or not, there's something in the works, because just like you said, Bear, this is their cash cow.
Right.
I mean, look at Grand Theft Auto Online and how much money they've racked in with that. Selling the shark cards, you know.
Oh yeah, the shark cards
So,
alone are ridiculous.
yeah. Someone in, I believe, the comments of this article actually had mentioned that, you know, they're maybe we'll send it. I saw it somewhere. Oh yeah, there it is.
What's the guy's name?
I'm trying to see if I can find the actual. Sorry, I'm trying to see if I can find the actual comment, the right one. I don't know if I'm going to find it because there's probably been a bunch more comments since I saw it earlier. But essentially the guy said that, hey, you know, we got Grand Theft Auto 5 with the modding community and everything like that. Grand Theft Auto 6 is going to come out and probably ruin all of that because they're probably going to do their own, you know, mod shop and give modding tools, but then charge for either creating and or installing any, you know, community created mods on their platform. So basically the fear is that they're going to find some way to monetize community mods on their system. So
Gotcha. Can I do that? Yes, I can. So Dr. Zapucci just got done tweeting at us.
Oh.
And I think this is a great idea for knowing when we are live. Letting your device itself alert you instead of waiting for YouTube services to alert you.
Right.
So I just threw the picture up of, I guess he has 3 different alarms. One is every day at 7 a.m. Good morning. There is an alarm only once for 11. Just says alarm.
Yeah.
And then 9 p.m. Thursdays, RecycleBin.
That's funny.
Love it.
That's awesome. Oh, man.
I come over here. I can't tell you why. THD mic. Oh my goodness, I know why.
Yeah. I hear you too on the stream. Oh, I am? Yeah, so are you. Oh, you were.
The output input. That's what it
Well,
was.
now, I think now you're gone again.
Nope, I'm back. I should be here. I'm talking.
Hold
Yep,
on,
I
hold
see
on.
myself talking.
Okay, now you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't add the other inputs when I switched scenes, is what it was.
Gotcha.
Don't worry, all of these inputs will be in there for next time. And I think I'll start using these just for my streams.
Yeah. Yeah. That'd be a bad idea because I mean, I think that so far has been the best sounding setup.
Thank you. I was going to see if I could borrow a friend's Blue Yeti that they have.
Oh yeah.
And he told me, you do and don't want to try it. You do because it'll be great. You don't,
Right.
because you'll want to buy it afterwards, and it's a $100 microphone. So I want good audio quality on these, because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like if you're watching this, there's two different things that you want. You want decent content, and you want decent audio. Because we are talking so much, I think decent audio is very important. So,
my thing about the Blue Yeti
yeah.
and the fact that it's $100. I mean, I guess it's still a bigger investment after that, but you can go with like an actual XLR mic and a Yamaha soundboard for like $250.
I have an XLR. It is XLR.
Yeah. Do you have a soundboard for it, or do you convert it to USB?
What happens is this goes from here to a InnoGear amp, and then the amp goes from XLR to a 3.5.
Okay.
Yep, my little InnoGear.
Okay.
So, just enough to power one mic.
So, I posted in both chats.
Okay.
Yamaha. I believe this is I think this is the lower scale version of the one that Barnacules, that Jerry uses. This is the lower end one. It doesn't have like the voice effects and stuff in it, so it's a little less expensive.
Right.
But I think that would, number one, that would probably help. And then number two, I think I recognize that mic. Did that come from Amazon?
Yeah.
Perhaps? Yeah. I think I recognize that mic. So number one, probably the board, because I think I know which, that box. I think I might have seen that one on Amazon too. And I feel like that's one that had like not great reviews.
Oh.
But I don't know. But I posted the mic and the soundboard that are on my wish list to get for my setup at some point. Because I almost feel like, again, everybody's got their own limits and everything like that. But I think when I finally do pony up for it, I'm just gonna go ahead and kind of go all out, I guess you could say, even though this is nowhere near all out. But for my next comfort level for jump in audio quality, I think this is where I want to go. Okay,
Right.
so Dr. Zibuchi asked if it's this excelvan BM800 condenser.
Let me take away this tab and then go through my history.
It's probably if it's not that exact one, it probably is really the same one, because I've noticed this in these, especially in some of the lower price stuff, you'll see the exact same thing, just with a different brand slapped on it.
Right.
From different sellers.
Search orders for, I do believe he's right, though.
Right. Because then, like, I've seen a bunch of like these too that they're similar. They just don't have like the blue shell on them, but I've seen them in blue as well. It's a newer NW700 condenser mic. This one's like a combo, where it's a condenser mic with a phantom power supply for the mic, and then it converts it out from I said scroll down in the one he sent. I forgot what I was about to say. It's got the XLR to 3.5 converter in it, so I feel like that converter box, the phantom power box, may be similar to the one that you have.
Yeah, that's it.
It drops it down. The blue mic is the same one?
Yep. I mean, there's no
no branding on it.
Yeah. But this is it to the T.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just one of those, like, you probably just have, like, the generic version of it without the someone else putting their branding on it, but, I mean,
Right.
internally it's exactly the same. And you probably have, like, your phantom power is probably similar to the one that's in that bundle in the last link that I sent. That converts it down to the 3.5 millimeter.
So this came with an XLR to 3.5. So
Oh, it's just XLR to 3.5?
yeah, so when I got the amp, I had to get an
Yeah.
XLR to XLR.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, you're using like a phantom power, right?
Yeah.
That's basically what your amp is, just a phantom power. Yeah.
Even though it has like no real info in it. NO Gear 229.
Yeah, I think it's probably the same as like this newer one in that bundle, because it's like a $55 bundle for the mic, the phantom power, the boom arm, the pop filter, like everything all in one. Because I thought about doing that because it was so inexpensive, but I was like, it's probably not worth it in the long run. That's probably like almost going too cheap.
Gotcha. I just realized I left us with the web page up with Trevor.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I had. Probably not the best or smartest purchase I've made. So, and I rather not do...
I've made a ton of those purchases.
Yeah, I rather not do a soundboard. I rather just have something that I can just plug straight in and it just works as far as audio goes, right? And I know that's not how it really works, but
yeah. Well, the nice thing about the soundboard is it goes to, so it's a XLR to essentially goes into, it's a 6 input down to USB. So it provides the phantom power, and then puts it out to USB to go into your PC, right? And then you have right there on the soundboard, you have all of the all the adjustments you need right there. Right. So I feel like, again, no personal experience with this, I feel like in the long run that would be the easier setup because your on the fly adjustments are going to be so much easier. And again, that's why for me personally this is my kind of ideal setup, right?
See, for me though, I'm no audio engineer at all, sort of thing. So I would be afraid, like, I get the board and then I press a button and nothing works and it doesn't work forever. But at the same time,
so I mean that's the thing is it's just a learning curve, you just gotta get in there and figure out what you're doing. And I'm a tinkerer by nature, so I just get in there.
So for me, I help with theater for our drama that we have, and we have a huge soundboard. I think there's over 48
those are
channels.
Ridiculous.
And so I've scratched my head on one of those for I think a good hour and a half before we finally got it just to spit out an MP3 that's plugged into it out onto the speakers. So.
Yeah, I mean the thing is you're looking at this, a little 6 input deal.
Yeah.
This is going to be nowhere near. You know what I mean? The complexity level. I mean, you're essentially going to have, your low, mid, and bass. That's probably about it, really. I mean, I'm sure you'll have levels for each input, but I don't think it'd be anything more complicated than that. Again, I don't really know anything about the audio stuff, because I haven't actually got my hand into it yet. But once I get around to getting mine, I'll give you a full review.
Gotcha.
But yeah, like I said, I just wanted to share with you kind of where I'm looking for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because Amazon right now, Blue Yeti is $125.
Well, which Blue Yeti? Just the Blue Yeti?
Just the Blue Yeti USB silver, yeah.
So Dr. Z, you're gonna have to remind me as to what you're talking about. You're saying that the last time you talked to me on the gaming stream, I can't recall what gaming stream. Oh, which reminds me. So when you and I stream games, I
Hmm.
think we should try out Mixer because we
Okay.
can co-stream side by side with each other. And let's see here. For me, I have mine interactive with sounds. So I have sounds like oh, where's that going? Oh, that's not going out in the right place because this is set to output default. Where is my... There we go. Okay. So back to the soundboard. I got sounds like this. And... Roger, Roger. As well as... Happy birthday! Just to name a few. However, when I play Minecraft, there's also these sounds. Dun 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 dun. Where is it? Minecraft is supposed to be different than the other stuff. Why is it not? Oh no. Oh well, whatever. So, that's what that is. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably gonna, when we start doing the gaming stuff, I was just gonna use my Twitch, because I have a Twitch account that I set up forever ago, and I've, like, literally never done anything with it.
Oh, okay.
So I want to start trying to use, Twitch. I know there's a bunch of, like, different, like, plugins and stuff with OBS that you can use with Twitch. I've spent zero time looking into it, so I think I'm gonna try and figure that out and see what's up with that.
Gotcha. Dr. Z's saying...
Oh, yeah, he sent you the mod mic, the Antlion.
It was when you were playing at Minecraft. Oh, okay. Oh, nice. It basically looks like a lapel.
No, so what the mod mic is it's meant so that you can take like a headset that doesn't have a mic on it, and then it's like magnetic, and you just stick it on like the side of your mic or your side of your headset.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's magnetic, or you can do like double-sided. It comes with like a double-sided tape or whatever. But it's meant so that you can take, like, if you have like a high-quality set of headphones, you can add a mic to it. It's one of the more highly regarded, inexpensive mics.
Oh. Dr. Z, I'll be honest, I don't remember that right now. I'm sure it'll, like, hit me later and be like, oh yeah, that's right. Huh? I'm an idiot. But, no man, I don't remember that. Sorry. So, oh, my goodness, it is 7:08.
Yes, it is. Holy moly. Okay. Wife is probably passed out on the couch by now. So.
Oh, right! You know what's funny is when we were making that farm at the back of the house, that is now like at the front now. That's basically where the front is, and I've added at least 4 to 5 stages behind it.
Whoa. Your image is all special. You have like smallpox now.
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Oh, well. It's the end of the stream.
Smallpox. Yes, it is.
So,
that's why your camera is taking a crap, because it's the end of the stream. It's
why?
Tired.
Why is everything crapping out? Everything's crapping out. Oh my god!
You have like blue polka dots. It's ridiculous.
I have blue.
I mean, this is just the one that you're using on Skype. It's not the one on stream.
Oh, okay.
Jeez, yeah.
I was like about ready to reset real quick. That.
No, it's fine. We're about to hop off here anyways.
So. Stream camera, the camera that goes out to Tito over here. So. Yeah. I don't know. Doesn't look good on this.
I think it's been infected by Skynet or something. I don't know.
So. All right. I think that's a night. I think that's a wrap.
Yeah, I think we're gonna call it. I'm gonna go crash.
Okay.
I have to go to work tomorrow, and I really don't want to.
Yeah. And I have like my gaming server is pinging on the other side, so
Yeah.
I better make sure that server's going all right too.
Yep.
So.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you later, Barry. Everybody, Dr. Zipucci, and nobody else that's here. I'll catch you next week on the live stream. All right, guys. Take it easy.
Have a wonderful night, guys.